So the usual, we're gonna start with the outline. We're gonna outline first, then we're gonna color, and then we're gonna outline again. Let's start. Oh, so I'm doing something weird today. Not exactly weird, but something in my style. With Tanjiro Kamado. So let's see. Okay. Okay, let's complete this. Continue outlining. This does not look like the exact Tanjiro Kamado because I'm going to be doing something of my own with it today. So let's complete the outlining. Zero people watching right now. Okay, let's just continue doing it. We're done with the. Hi, nickname expert. Yep, you're the first one. Why is it giving zero people here? Sorry. I think my internet is not working because I can literally see zero people, even though I received a comment from nickname expert. Oh, two people watching. Hi. What? There you go. We're gonna do. Let's. Oh, okay. 7 people watching. Hello. Okay, 4 people watching. Hi, nickname expert. Okay, 8 people watching. Hi guys, what's up? I'm good. How about you? Yeah, this is Sanjiro Kamado. But in my style. Hi, 7 people watching. Okay, so I had this horror story that I experienced like when I was a kid. So I was thinking to tell you guys, but I'm just waiting for enough people to show up so I can start telling the story. Alright, so it was around when I was in my school. I think, in 5th grade. Yeah. And I had like a bunch of friends, both guys and girls. So it was winter, and I was early in school, which was, I think, around 6 in the morning or 7, which was pretty early. The classes were opening and stuff. And like a bunch of students more, a bunch of students from my class who comes from like afar, they live like very far from school. They reached the school at 7 or 6. Right? So they were there, I was there. And a bunch, they're all like friends of mine. I was friends with the entire class. So we all were in the same class, and we started talking and chatting and stuff until the classes opened. We were literally standing outside the class door. So one of my friends, she just walked up to the maintenance guy who was supposed to open the class door, and she was like, "Why aren't you opening it? We've been standing for like 20 minutes. We're tired. We really want to go into class and get settled." So he was like, "Yeah, I'm opening. I didn't receive the keys right now. I'm just waiting for the keys." So he was basically looking for the keys because he forgot where he kept them. Right? So he started looking for the keys, and we waited a couple of more minutes, which was like 10 to 15 minutes more, until he came back and was like, "Okay, let's open the classroom." So he opened the classroom, and we went in, we got settled, my friends and I, we all, like, it was really normal, like nothing was wrong, right? So a couple of moments later, one of our teachers who was supposed to, she always used to show up a bit late, like not really late, but like when the time of the class would start, she would just come 10 minutes or 20 minutes before that, because she lived like really near the school. So she showed up, and we were kind of surprised why she show up so early, right? Plot twist, she was leaving the school. So she just came early to pack in her stuff so she could like leave the school. She was permanently leaving because she was moving to another city. So we said goodbyes to her and stuff, and then later more classmates started showing up, so we weren't really so alone as we were before. So one of this classmate of ours was the troublemaker of the class. He would always like get the entire class in trouble, or sometimes himself in trouble, right? So he said that there's no teachers in the staff room, and there was literally, the whole school was empty. There was no one in the classrooms, no teachers, only students were there, right? So he was like, "Let's just go and explore the basement." I was like, "No, no, 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 we're not going to the basement," right? Why we are not going to the basement? Because it was like, I wasn't scared, but the fact that there were cameras in the basement was a real deal, right? So I was like, "No, we're not going to the basement. We're gonna get caught. I'm in no position to do so. My mom's not gonna let me like survive this, so I'm not gonna." go to a basement because some students want to explore it. And he was like, no, it's gonna be fun, let's do it, and we're all gonna be there, there's nothing to be scared of. I was like, no, I'm not scared, I'm not scared of anybody. And the fact that I'll get in trouble just by going to the basement, I'm not risking it. So he was like, okay, you're scared, you're scared, you're scared. And then at the end, I got very irritated and I went with all those classmates. So it was around 20 people. There were 30 classmates in total. And it was 30 classmates in total. And I was thinking that 10 of them didn't show up because they were a bit late. They came from St. Man. So it was mostly a bunch of my friends and other classmates. So totally 15 guys and 5 girls. So 20 classmates that. So we all went to the basement. Now, so now the guys are scared because the basement is all dark. Totally dark, no tube lights, no lights, no nothing. And we literally had no torch. Because we were just in 5th grade, right? So at first when we were walking down the basement, the maintenance guy, he caught us. He was like, what are you guys up to? And we're like, nothing. We were just going to check on a classmate. So he was like, okay, but go back to your class. So we pretended to go back to our class, but we didn't really go. When he was out of sight, we went back again, and we started exploring the basement. So we went, so there were 2 staircases, like 2 staircases towards the basement. When you cross the first staircase, and then there's another one just to enter the basement. The basement has no door, like you directly just entered the basement. So on the first staircase, there were like a line of kids standing. So we were like, don't stand on the first staircase, we're gonna get caught and stuff and whatever. So the other classmates, they would stand on the second staircase and starting on the second staircase. And 2 people were supposed to go in and signal the others to walk in, right? To say whether like it was safe or not. So it was safe or not. So it was me and another friend of mine. She was also a girl, and then a guy chimed in too because obviously ego. They were all scared, right? So another guy chimed in. He was like, "Okay, I'm coming with you 2 girls. So let's go." So there was 3 people. We walked in, and at first everything was okay. Like we explored. The basement was really big, like hella big, and then there's another door that connected to the backyard of the school, where most of the non-usable things were kept, right? The backyard of the school. So nobody really went there. And then the backyard had another door that was connected to a ground at the back of the school, because that's the ground of the society that school was in. Like it was a community where the school was, so there was a ground the community used for different purposes. It was connected to that, right? So we were exploring the basement, and then we heard. So now when we explored the entire basement, now we called all the other classmates. We're like, yeah, come in. There's nothing wrong. Come on, you guys can come and check it. So they all came downstairs into the basement, and I started exploring and stuff. And then one of the classmates was like super scared. She was a girl. Let's call her Ruby, okay? So Ruby was a girl, and she was like the super scared one. She was like, I'm not going in there. So I had to like drag her down the basement. When I dragged her down the basement, she held on to me, and she was like, let's walk together. Okay, I was like, okay, fine, no problem. So you're walking together, and I suddenly looked over to another friend just to check if they were there. She screamed. I was like, what happened? And she was like, I heard literally someone in here call our like a late classmate's name. I was like, what? And then she told me, because she told me the name, and the late classmate was someone. So then I remember the story because when I first came to school, someone told me a classmate died. Um, and like they were from the same class, and a classmate died back in the school, inside of the school, due to I don't know, some medical problems or something. So I was like, okay, whatever. Someone might be pranking you. Okay, let's just move on. Saying that, we moved on, right? We started moving toward the other direction the voice came from, because I didn't hear anything. She was the only one who heard it. And then all the other classmates were still there exploring, and another classmate shouted. We all ran towards the person, and they were like, yo, Ruby isn't joking. There's something seriously wrong with this basement. And we were like, what do you mean? It's like, look, there's literally a skeleton in here. I'm like, yo, there's obviously a skeleton in here because we're in a school and we have a science lab. We study science, so for goodness sake, there's gonna be a skeleton. I was like, then everybody laughed and they were like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, why would you just scream at a skeleton? Like, seriously. So they were like, okay, let's just go on and go on. So we all like went on and started exploring more because the basement was real big, right? So we started exploring more and more and more. Half hour later, teachers still didn't show up. We had a margin of 1 hour to explore the basement, right? Half hour passed by, we're still in the basement, right? So it was 7:30. We're still in the basement, and we had like 20 minutes more just before we went to the classroom back. And then a guy, okay, this time a guy screamed, and I was like, okay, this gotta be something bad, right? Why would a guy scream, right? So we went and followed the noise where the guy screamed, and horrified. We were horrified because it was something real bad. We saw. I told you before, like in the starting, that there's a door in the basement that connects to the backyard of the school, and then the backyard connects to a ground that's part of the community, right? So we saw a man who looked homeless, right? He was sitting in the backyard talking to we don't know who, because we couldn't see anybody he was talking to, right? But he was talking to someone. And he was like laughing and hysterically laughing. And he was like, as if he was joking with someone in front of him, but we couldn't see the person, right? We freaked out. And the guy was like, yo, what is wrong with this dude? He looks homeless. Maybe he just gone insane or something. For God's sake. And I was like, I don't think he looks pretty much sane to me, but I don't think he's gone insane, because look at him. He doesn't even look homeless. He was dressed like a normal person. And then we all like literally zoomed in with our eyes, just like narrow our eyes to see who exactly it was, if it was someone from school or something. And turns out it was one of our maintenance guys from the school who barely showed up to school, right, to work for the past couple of days, right? And we're like, what is he doing right here, right in the basement? Why would he be in the basement? So we didn't say anything. We just ran for our lives, kind of ran back to the classroom, and we didn't say anything for days. Like, I think 2 to 3 days go by, we all don't say anything. But then at the end, I went weird. I went like completely mad. I was like, we need to tell the school, because he might be doing something illegal. There's something definitely wrong with that dude. We gotta complain about him. And they were like, we're gonna get caught for the fact that we were in the basement. I was like, doesn't matter, okay? But the fact that the dude is doing something wrong in the school is gonna cost our lives. And they were like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, that's kind of right. We can't lose our lives over some stupid dude, right? So we all went to the coordinator, the coolest teacher we could find in the school, like someone who wouldn't, go all bonkers on us for going to the basement. And then we told her everything, and she was like, 2-3 days ago? They're like, yeah, 2-3 days ago. They're like, why didn't you say anything first? I'm like, I was scared and stuff. And she's like, okay, let's just go to the principal's office. And then the principal gathered all the teacher with us in her office, okay? And then asked us to narrate everything to the other teachers. And we told them everything. And the other maintenance dude who caught us going down to the basement, he was like, yeah, he's been missing school for a couple of days and stuff. And he told about how he's been acting a bit weird. And we're like, he was literally talking to someone we couldn't see, okay? But that's insanity. And the principal was like, maybe he is gone insane. I was like, no, that's not how someone goes insane, okay? You just don't start talking to yourself. So he was like, so I was like, okay, let's just. So the principal was like, okay, you guys gonna take where you exactly saw him. So other classmates back down and were like, no, we're not going back in that basement again. So it was me, but two friends of mine, who was a guy and a girl, and another guy from the class who was like very enthusiastic about showing the principal what we saw. So he was like, okay, let me show you. And we all went down to the basement with a bunch of teachers and the principal and a bunch of bodyguards, like not a bunch, like 2 to 3 bodyguard and the maintenance guy who recognized the other guy. We went down and exactly same spot, like 2 days ago, we saw the guy doing the same thing. And I was like, see? Doesn't look insane to me. And she was like, yeah, he looks perfectly normal for the fact that he's talking to some air. I'm like, yeah, something's wrong with dude. Either he's hiding something behind it just to be acting like a fool because he heard us coming down, or maybe something is definitely wrong with him. Or he's wearing AirPods or something because he cannot probably talking to air like that. And she was like, yeah. So what happened was we caught the guy in the act and we dragged him back to principal's office and stuff. It took us, like, students, it took the maintenance guy, us students, like 2 male students, 2 bodyguards to drag the guy out, right? So we all took him to the principal's office and started interrogating him. So at first he wouldn't say anything, like nah nah nah, blah blah blah, and he was just trying to prove that he was insane or something. Because I knew he wasn't insane. He wasn't insane. If he was insane, he wouldn't be working in this school, okay? At first off. So I was like, dude, don't lie, okay? You're not insane. We can all see you're perfectly normal. He was like, no, I'm insane, and I just came out of rehab or something. I was like, rehab? Liar. So what I did. So I didn't say anything after that. After he said that he went to rehab or something. So what I just simply did was I started looking at him like very closely, like super close, like as if I was, doing something with him. So I looked at him and I realized the dude was wearing damn camera with a microphone and an earpiece that was like so small, like it was like a literal small circle put down into the center of his ear, and it was in black color. Big mistake. So it was in black color. I looked at it and I was like, okay, dude, your game's over. Stop lying. You were literally wearing an earpiece. And he was like, no, that's not an earpiece. I was like, man, rehab something, he said. Like, he was like, that's my rehab tracker, or I don't know what. I was like, okay, that's the wildest excuse or lie I've ever heard. What's a rehab tracker? Like, why would you have that on you? So anyways, we caught him and stuff, and he had been like, so there was this rival school we had, in our community whose principal was the rival of our principal. So he's been giving out information about us, like the other principal, and how they're running the school or how much they're earning, and he's been stealing money and stuff from the school, which was found out later after he was caught in the act, right? So we felt like heroes. We were like police officers or something. The police came in, they found out that we were the ones who, did all that. And so after that, everybody would like want us to narrate the story or thing that we did. So what we did, we started playing hero and stuff. We told them, we did, you did that, blah blah blah, and bullshit and stuff, and we did all that, blah blah blah. And then a couple of days later, the same dude who gave the idea to go to the basement came up with another crazy idea. Like, we should really explore the backyard. I was like, okay. I was fine becoming a hero one time, but the second time, okay, now I'm not risking it this time. I'm not going all goo goo gaga over something. Because I don't want to be the hero this time. I don't want to go to the backyard. It's creepy. We literally caught a dude stealing from us there, so I'm not going back in there. They're like, no, we gonna find something new this time. I'm like, no, we're not going, right? We're not going. So I didn't go. A bunch of my friends did, and the dude, and they came back running, like running, kind of running. And I was like, what's wrong, and what's happening, and what's going on, and whatever. And they were like, yo, something's definitely wrong with that backyard. And I was like, what? And they were like, this time it's a woman, and she was not insane, she was not nothing, her legs were twisted. I was like, what? Yeah, she was like, her legs were backside, like the other way, like, literally opposite to what normal is. I was like, you're joking. And we're like, no, we're not joking, girl. Something is definitely wrong with that backyard. We gotta leave the school ASAP. I'm like, where will we go leaving the school? That thing probably saw you if you guys went there. So, yeah, that saw us. He might be coming upstairs right now just to kill us or something. I'm like, what nonsense are you talking about? And we're like, no, it's true. It saw us. I was like, okay, let's go. And we grabbed our bags. So there was literally no one in the school. It was just a bunch of more students and stuff from other classes, right? And nobody was on our floor. We were literally 4 people on that floor. I was like, okay, let's run. And that was like the floor that was like right above the basement. I was like, okay, we don't have much time. And that thing saw you, it's probably gonna fly here. So they were all scared. I was like literally walking. They were running, I was walking, and my friend like literally grabbed me and dragged me with her outside. So we went to another floor. Well, like the second floor that had the senior. Then we knew a bunch of seniors, and we're like, yo, there's something wrong. They started laughing. They were like, no, there's nothing wrong. We've been in school way more than you have, and there's nothing wrong there. And we were like, no, there's something definitely wrong. And I was like, I meant like, yeah, I was telling the same thing. There's nothing wrong. We just caught a dude, been there. He would have died if he hadn't been doing that for days, right? Like, no. We saw something. They're trying to convince the other that they saw something, right? So a bunch of senior teachers overheard us, and they were like, okay, let's go check. And the people who went, like my classmates went before checking in, and they were like, no, we're not going to check. That thing's scary, okay? We're gonna lose our lives. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and check with you. So a bunch of seniors and me and the senior teacher, we all went, and the other senior and my classmates stayed back because they were all like, okay, we're gonna stay back with you, right? So that she was the only teacher available that time at school, right? So I met with her and I was like, yeah, I was blabbering. I was like, yeah, they're all just scared. They got scared of a skeleton. Like, of course we're gonna have a skeleton. It's a school, right? I was like, exactly. That's what I said. But they were like, it's a skeleton in here. Something wrong. I'm like, oh. So we went down. We went to the backyard. We literally explored the entire backyard. We just walked like normal people in the backyard. And we're like, there's nothing in here, right? And we walked out of the backyard door. We didn't go to the other ground, right? We walked back into the basement. So the basement, we walked back to the basement. And then on the stairs, we saw her. She was standing on the stairs. On the stairs, right? And the teacher went, okay. Oh, what is this? And I was like, ignore, just walk right past her. Like, don't even acknowledge her. Pretend like you didn't even see her. And I was like, okay. And she was like, okay, how do you even do that? I was like, my mom said, if you see something like that, ignore it and walk away. Don't say anything or even acknowledge it, right? She was like, okay, let's do it. Hi, Bonnie. So I was like, let's do it. We all literally walked past her. But this one senior girl screamed while doing it. Like, she screamed running. And we're like, damn, what just happened? And we all ran. We all ran to the second floor, to the senior section. And we told them, okay, you guys, this time we're right, definitely. There is a woman in there. But we don't know if she's real or whatever. So, because we saw her legs twisted. And they were like, see, we're telling you something is definitely wrong with that basement, okay? So this time we told the principal, the senior teacher was like, I experienced this too, they ain't lying and stuff. So the principal was like, okay, why are you guys exploring the basement? Okay, can't we just leave in peace for goodness sake for 2 days? And I was like, I don't know, okay, it wasn't me, it was these guys. And she was like, okay, let's go see. So we got a bunch of more men and stuff, and we went downstairs, and magically that woman was still on the stairs. She hadn't moved an inch from that place. So I'm like, so my principal walked up to her. She was a woman too, right? She was like, excuse me, do we know you? I was like, why would she introduce herself to you, girl? Like, why would she introduce herself to the principal? I'm like, yeah, I walked in your school because I'm a ghost. I don't have a place to live. And the principal like, excuse me, do we know you? And she disappeared. Thin air, bloom, flick of an eye, and she disappeared. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's an introduction. Let me come back with a knife and stab you. So, my principal got scared, and we all like literally ran back to the classroom. So they all gave us like a month off after that. Okay. Just to figure out what was going on inside the school. Later, we found out it was a damn illusion. A person was playing just to get to live in the school. Like, it was a homeless person. I was like, why? Okay, that's so bad. Why would a homeless person have an illusional, holographic machine of a woman with twisted legs? And they were like, yeah, that's exactly what we're all thinking. Thanks, King. So that's how I end up finding the most horrifying stuff in my school. There's like a bunch of more stories. So if you guys want to hear more, just comment. Comment if you guys want to hear more horror stories from my school, because we have like uh, okay, so I'm back. So I was saying comment because if you wanted to hear like more stories, horror stories from my school, I like a bunch, and also from my old homes, like the ones that I lived in before. So I'm like, I have full experience in this kind of stuff, first-hand experience. Oh hi, 6 people watching. Hi guys. Okay, so we're gonna doing a bit of weird looking Tanjiro Kamado here. It's in my style, and I have like a bunch of idea for this one. So we're gonna just pull it up. And let's start working. So we're gonna be using black colors from all kinds. Okay, we're using this pencil, and we're using these. We're using these, and that's it. That's all the black we're using. Let's sharp the blacks. We're gonna be using. Oh hi, 3 people. Oh, 5 people watching. Hello guys. Comment your favorite anime. Mine is JJK. Okay. Let's start. So first we're gonna use this. We're gonna use next. We're gonna use. Okay. Alright. There you go. We're gonna creating a weird glitchy look on this one. So there we go. Oh hey, 8 people watching. Okay. We're doing a weird glitchy kind of look on this one. So let's just complete it. Alright, here we go. Okay. See, we're gonna continue this all over the body. Okay, there we go. Right, almost there. Okay. Kind of weird, glitchy look. There we go. Going for a whole new kind of a look. Tell me if you guys. Oh, hi, Information X Factor. Welcome back. Welcome again. Alright. Comment if you guys want me to do any other character in this glitchy style. Okay, let's grab with the black clerk. Okay. Okay, let's complete this. Alright, we're almost done. Okay. It's starting to look weird to me, but I don't know if it's good. Hi, there we go. Oh. Uh-huh. 4 people watching. Hi. Hey guys, what's up? Okay, there we go. We're going good. With this glitchy kind of look. Alright, let's choose. Alright, there we go. So far, so good. So there we go. Now we're left with the bottom part. So I'm gonna post the complete drawing on my post. See you guys in the next live. Bye.